Alkışlarla WTTC Başkanı Julia Simpson geliyorlar.
Herkese günaydın. Your Excellencies, Your Excellencies, WTTC members, travel and tourism supporters, thank you for welcoming me to Istanbul to speak at this amazing Travel and Tourism Investment Forum. After the economic shock of the pandemic, investment in our sector is now even more critical. Travel and tourism is an important engine of the Turkish economy and Turkey's competitiveness, and I am so pleased to see it is being prioritized at this event. I am also so pleased to see WTTC members such as OTI Holding, ZAF Group, Turkey Tourism Promotion and Development Agency, and of course TTYD, Turkish Tourism Investors Association. Let me just explain who WTTC is, which stands for the World Travel and Tourism Council, and we represent 200 of the top businesses in travel and tourism globally. We are effectively the voice of the private sector. We were last here in Turkey in 2018, and since then, the world has changed dramatically. Turkey has officially changed its name, reconnecting with the country's rich history and culture. And looking forward to next year, Turkey will celebrate your Republic's 100th anniversary. Many congratulations. But in the last few years, we have experienced an unprecedented global health crisis. While the global economy reduced by 3.4% over the last 2 years in the pandemic, travel and tourism saw 50% of our value destroyed with the loss of 62 million jobs globally. But now, travel and tourism is a growth sector, and it's a really positive story. WTTC research shows that over the next 10 years, travel and tourism is poised to have an average annual growth rate at 5.8%, outstripping global GDP. This year, we are really regaining ground. Our data shows that by the end of 2022, we will have recovered $8 to $8.35 trillion globally. This is a massive business. And we will be creating 126 million brand new jobs globally over the next 10 years. So that is the prize. If you remember, travel and tourism was valued globally at $9.2 trillion before this pandemic. Now today, I'm delighted to announce completely new research for Turkey. We publish independent economic impact research with Oxford Economics, which is an offshoot of the Oxford University in the UK. And it shows that in Turkey, for 2021, our sector in Turkey's contribution to GDP was over about 60 billion US dollars. That's about 7% of the total economy. But you must remember that before the pandemic, it was worth over 100 billion US dollars in the economy. We believe that this year Turkey, because it's had such a great run in the travel and tourism season, we will be seeing numbers getting back to about 70 billion for the end of this year. The really great news for Turkey, however, is over the next decade. Turkish travel and tourism GDP is forecasted to grow on average at a rate of 5.5% annually between 2022 and 2032. That's more than twice Turkey's expected GDP growth. And it would mean that over the course of those 10 years, travel and tourism will end up representing 11% of the Turkish economy, some 120 billion US dollars. So the investment is here for the taking. But most importantly, apart from those economic figures, what does it mean for employment in Turkey? Well, our sector is forecasted in Turkey to create over 800,000 new jobs just in our sector in Turkey over the next decade. And to make the most of this opportunity, we need to ensure that we invest appropriately and prioritize sustainable and inclusive growth. Sustainability has been one of the touchwords at the conference here today. It is obviously a priority for travelers coming from the rest of the world to visit this beautiful country. Now, Turkey's focus on sustainability with great political leadership is world-class. And that positions us very well here for future investments. As you all know, this summer, Turkey will be the 4th most popular destination in Europe. That is amazing. I'm so delighted. Looking at WTTC's consumer trends, many travelers are reporting what they plan to be doing over the next, what they're looking for when they travel. And they are looking for wellness, sustainability, and going to secondary destinations, the wanderlust for the great outdoors. And that is interesting because Turkey ticks all those boxes. But I want to let you know about a project. I was very interested to hear about the minister ensuring that all hotels and small accommodations will get a ministry seal of approval on sustainability. I just launched in the Philippines last month where we held a global summit trying to reopen that whole area, something called the Hotel Sustainability Basics. And this is scientifically based, and it's to give support to the small hoteliers and the small chains to get the first step on the sustainability ladder. And I have offered our assistance to the government of Turkey to work hand in hand on this project. We identified various priorities to attract future investment at WTTC. We look at the globe, we look at different countries, and we work out what are the key ingredients to ensure that people will invest in a country. So these are very general, but you can interpret them for where we are today. And we have a fantastic report on the WTTC website that I recommend if you're more interested to look at it. So the two major focus areas are creating an enabling environment for investors. And I will come on to say, what does that mean? What are investors looking for? And also how you can define the Turkish travel market into clear segments. So here are some of the top learnings. First of all, needless to say, it's taxation. I was very pleased to hear what the minister said about reducing VAT, and I hope that they can go even further. Because if you can create a positive, smart taxation environment, that will definitely improve our ability here to attract investors. That needs to also be supported by effective visa policies. And that also, we always look at visa policies when investors are looking to invest in travel and tourism. The next item is training, reskilling, and upskilling all our wonderful teams that work in our sector. We need to highlight the sector's attractiveness as a career, even at school level and in college level. Globally, you are probably aware that we've been facing staff shortages, but with good employment practices, we are beginning to turn that corner. And I'm pleased to report that hoteliers that were telling me they had terrible trouble recruiting people, things are beginning to ease a little. Another key thing is, as I said, diversification and segmentation of markets, making it very clear what the offer is to investors across a range of products. Turkey, we know, is already diverse. It includes wellness, culture and heritage, and medical tourism. But what untapped opportunities still exist? In sport, in shopping. We talked about getting, hopefully, a Michelin star in your wonderful gastronomy. Our bed night capacity here in Turkey remains high, but we have different types of rooms. Are we ensuring that we're looking across all our different segments? And are the rooms that are being offered spread across the country in new destinations? I finally want to say one of the key ingredients where I think Turkey is leading is physical infrastructure and connectivity. You simply cannot grow tourism without infrastructure. I have government presidents coming to me and saying they want to pivot their whole nation's economy on tourism. What do they need to do? And the first thing I say is you need a secure and a safe country. And secondly, you need great infrastructure. The investment in Istanbul Airport is spectacular. And I have to say, I come from an airline background. I used to be on boards of major airlines. And having traveled recently, in fact, I traveled last night with Turkish Airlines. It is a superb airline, and it is an absolute credit to this country. It is very, very well led. It is very operationally efficient, and it has great customer focus. Those are all the ingredients. And now that it does direct flights to almost 350 destinations, bringing people in directly all over the world, that is a jewel in your crown. Well done. It's fantastic. We also need to look at how the connectivity links are working to destinations like Antalya, Ankara, Izmir, and your more rural destinations. Again, it was good to talk to the minister earlier who was explaining about the high-speed rail links. And finally, we were hearing earlier, our chairman, Arnold Donald, is chairman and CEO of Carnival, which is the largest cruise company in the world. And as a cruise destination, Turkey is just a precious jewel. It is so lovely. When I woke up in my hotel room this morning and I looked over the Bosphorus, there's nothing like it. Believe me, the Thames doesn't even come anywhere close. It is absolutely beautiful. Finally, technology. I think in the pandemic, even the smallest business had to become very e-commercial. And it really accelerated that trend. But for travel and tourism to stay ahead of your competitors, you need to ensure that you are deploying the very best quality technology into all the products you are offering your customers. You know, we do need to get to a point that we walk straight through an airport. That if there are, God forbid, another pandemic or whatever it is, our health data is on our phone. And Turkey, looking at what you've achieved so far, could be pioneers in this field. Finally, I just want to mention business travel. Business travel has not been the natural business sector for travel and tourism in Turkey. I think it used to represent about 7%. You've got enormous potential there. Look at this conference here today, the wonderful facilities that you've got. So I would also encourage investors to look at the MICE or MICE as we call it, that potential for business travel. So may I just say, thank you so much for having me today in this beautiful and amazing country. with so much potential for growth. And at the World Travel and Tourism Council, we stand ready to help you in any way we can. Thank you.
Ms. Simpson, can you please stay with us a little bit more? Evet, Sayın Oya Narin'i davet etmek istiyorum sahneye. Please come next to us. She's going to present you a very nice, what can I say, statue or...
Yes, it's a statue.
Isn't it organic and recycled, sustainability? And did you see the bird right here?
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you very much for being with us, Julia. It's a great honor to have you here in Turkey, in Istanbul. Once again, thank you very much for your participation. Thank you.